I had some time really quick this evening. Those of you that have been following the channel for a while know that we finally just got moved into this house over the weekend. If you watched our previous video, I brought that up that we're in the process of moving. And I wanted to talk to you guys real quick this evening about just the importance of setting specific priorities. And I use the word priorities instead of tasks because, of course, we talk a lot about, the importance of setting your daily tasks that you know you need to get done for your business, not necessarily from a routine side of things, but literally before you go to bed each night as a business owner, an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call yourself. You should write down at least 3 to 5 things, ideally, a power list as we like to call it. Again, shout out to Andy Frisella for that amazing power list structure. If you want to learn more about the whole idea of the power list, definitely go check out his channel. Amazing content over there on the Real AF podcast. But outside of your usual power list for your business, there's also setting what I just call simply your priorities of life. Of course, life is going to include business, but if you're not careful, these priorities can actually be decided for you, and you almost just feel like somebody is constantly pulling your strings like you're a little puppet, essentially. Like one day you're pulling over here from the family, and the next day you're pulling over here from the business, the next day the government's pulling you over here from taxes. Like you could be literally pulling in all these different directions, and next thing you know, you can be stretched out in so many different directions at once that you're just going to break at the end of the day. Regardless if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or just an everyday 1099 or, everyday W-2 employee, even regardless of where you're at in terms of your financial journey, business journey, whatever the case may be, this is going to apply to all of us. And for me personally, as a follower of Christ, I always go back to the Word. I do a lot of prayer, sometimes even like a meditation prayer type of thing, even in the shower where I tend to have my deepest thoughts. And I'll think a lot on just like, where are my priorities right now? We talked about this, I think, in a recent video about filling up different cups. You don't want one cup to be more full than the other. Otherwise, bad things can happen, right? Same thing when it comes to just this idea of setting the priorities. Very similar, as a matter of fact. You need to understand, though, when it comes to priorities specifically, is there's going to be seasons with these priorities. Like one thing that I've noticed and literally just dawned on me today is I'm trying to do too much with my 24 hours. Like we all only have 24 hours at the end of the day. I am trying to be the mover because we didn't hire movers. Like we literally just purchased or rented a pod. They're called pods. I don't know if you guys heard of them before, but literally like they'll move it for you, but you got to pack it, you got to unload it. So I was the mover while being a business owner, while being a quote unquote YouTuber doing this content for you guys, while being a dad of a less than 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, while being a husband, while being a follower of Christ, trying to, fulfill the duties that I need to do in terms of just basic stuff, reading the Bible, prayer, all this type of stuff. And from the whole business side, I say just business owner, of course, what goes into being the solopreneur right now, answering phone calls, getting to callbacks, doing these liquid termite treatments that we've been selling like crazy the last week. Like everything has just decided to go from relatively normal to super busy within the business, which is super common for April, right? It didn't catch me by surprise. But like I said, whenever I'm also being a mover, we're still literally unpacking as we speak. I don't know what the camera's like picking up even in the background. Looks like it might have a drill, some dishes, all sorts of stuff all over the place back there in the background. Bedroom, we're still getting organized. Like we're just getting moved in at the time of me doing this video. We've been in, I think this is day 3 or 4 at the time of me doing this quick little video for you guys. And I noticed over the last probably literally 2 to 3 days since we started the actual physical moving into this house, that my anxiety, you guys know that, I've always kind of battled with like anxiety, not depression, but like anxiety, panic attacks, this type of stuff for a while, ever since really I started my adult life even. I hate even bringing it up because to me, it seems like you're using it as an excuse for why you're not getting shit done. But I notice every single time there's a common theme. I'm literally getting pulled apart in just too many different ways. Like we talk about with the whole puppet example, you just get stretched out so far that your brain, your heart, just everything all at once is just like, hey, something's not right. Like we need to bring it down. And that's what I kind of did this evening. I didn't get home until literally about 7:15, 7:30 this evening. It's 8:35 at the time of me doing this video. And just within the last half hour, I was just sitting there. My wife is away doing her little nightly walk, and the kids are down. You know, I just had some time to me and my thoughts. I don't really, when I have this time, I try to keep it quiet. I might catch up on a podcast, but it's usually just me and my thoughts. And I was like, okay, I can tell that these feelings are kind of going crazy right now, right? Like I can tell like the anxiety is starting to creep up. My vision's kind of, you know, my usual side effects that I have when it comes to panic attacks, anxiety, you know, whatever the doctor likes to call it. Ultimately, I forget what they even say because I don't go too often. You guys know I've been off of medications altogether outside of my normal vitamins and nutrient supplements, all that stuff. I haven't been taking any type of medication for months now, since like the beginning of the year. But I've been battling this stuff long enough to know whenever the stuff is creeping up. So I try to get ahead of it now. I'm trying to be more proactive. And the one thing that I just decided was I was like, okay, you know, I cannot be stretched as far as I'm being stretched right now. Like I don't have enough hands, legs, toes, fingers, head, you know, to be stretched out all these different directions. So what is most important right now? What's most important right now is making sure we get this move complete, making sure all of our utilities and all this stuff are changed over. Like this is the very most important thing right now. After that comes, you know, and of course the very first thing is like my daughters and, you know, my relationship with my wife, all that. Obviously that's, you know, first, that and Jesus, obviously, right? Then of course the moving, getting all this completed. Next is business, you know, making sure that each night, you know, I'm getting caught up on any calls, texts. You know, the beauty of my system is if I miss a call, an automated text goes out letting them know who I am, that it is me directly they're responding to. And a lot of times people just text back and then I can text them whenever I'm available. So, you know, doing that, making sure that we're not letting leads just go to waste, right? And then from there, of course, is simply just getting my usual day-to-day work done within the business, just at least keeping us afloat, getting our termite treatments done, getting our general pest control treatments done, just the general business operations. And then, of course, since we're moving, the next thing that's most important is me getting my office. I have now 1 week to get this done. Chances are I'm going back to my original office in Plano. I'll keep you guys updated on that. But you see, my whole point is I'm literally kind of going priority by priority, very similar to the power list. But the thing with priorities is it's not one day, if that makes sense. Like I said, it's seasons. Right now, we're in the season of moving. It's very important. This has to be, you know, taken care of first and foremost, and then everything else dominoes from there. But then once we get done moving and we're all settled in, new season begins. The priorities start to kind of shift from there, right? There could be something else, you know, something we don't know that's going to pop up. Heaven forbid, a health event of me, my wife, my kids. You never know, right? Like there's always never-ending seasons. The priorities are always going to change. And my whole point of this entire video, the importance of just tracking your priorities, again, separate from the power list, as that's a daily thing for the business specifically. The importance of keeping constant track of your priorities is to keep yourself from being overwhelmed. If you're someone like me who from time to time can struggle a couple times a year with like anxiety or panic attacks, whatever you want to call them, where if you've had those feelings, you know what I'm talking about. You can't really describe it. It's just, you know, a lot of mind chatter and mental stuff can happen, vision changes, all this crazy stuff, right? If you start to feel that happening, go evaluate, okay, what are all my priorities right now? Do I even know, like, what's the highest priority? Do I know what's the lowest? Do I, like, obviously they're priorities, so they all need to get done, but what is the most important? Okay, we got that handled. Okay, now what? Okay, now what? And again, like, this isn't just something that's one day. It can be a couple days, it can be a whole week, it can be a month. Again, it just depends on the season. Every season of your life is going to be different. And again, this is just from my experience. Like everything I talk about on this channel, it's all from my experience personally. So I'm interested to know, let me know in the comments down below if any of this is resonating with you guys. Regardless, like I said, doesn't matter if you're a business owner, or if you're, a 1099 guy, which technically you're a business owner still, or if you're just, a W-2 guy. It doesn't matter who you are. Like I said, just let me know in the comments down below if it's resonating with you, how you like to go about just kind of, like I said, not even necessarily tracking your priorities, but just organizing your priorities. Like I said, that's the main purpose of this video, is I want you guys to walk away with, okay, yes, we have the power list for the business whenever, things are kind of firing on all cylinders within our life, and we can literally focus on business in terms of, we're not being pulled in all these different directions like we're talking about. But whenever we do have a very busy season in our life where there's a lot of things going on, that yes, we can still have this power list that we're getting done. We may kind of not necessarily slack off, but we may make that power list a little bit lighter than usual because of the fact that we have all these different priorities that we have to balance out throughout, this never-ending journey we call life ultimately. And again, when I use the word balance, do not take it as work-life balance. I hate that term. You guys know that have been following the channel for a while now. I cannot stand the term work-life balance. There's no such thing as true work-life balance. The only time you're ever going to have work-life balance is once you're on your deathbed, in my opinion, or you're just flat out retired altogether. I personally will probably never just completely retire. It's just not my DNA, I got a feeling, but that's a whole other subject for a different day. But like I said, let me know down in the comments down below if any of this is resonating with you guys, if there's any tips that you may have, not just for me, but for anybody who's watching this in terms of, battling through, all these priorities with our power list, with the business. And then if you're someone who, like I said, is like me, and that you struggle with some anxieties from time to time, regardless if it's anxiety, depression, panic attacks, whatever the little label may be, right? If you have any tips or wisdom for those of us that, like I said, specifically are in the business realm of YouTube or business realm of the world, whatever you want to call us at the end of the day, business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever the case may be, definitely, like I said, let us know. Don't be shy. This channel is for all of you guys. Don't ever be shy to drop a comment, regardless if you think it might be silly or whatever the case may be. Like I said, I just had a quick few minutes this evening before my wife gets back from her little nightly walk, and I was just, like I said, just alone with my thoughts, and I was like, man, if I just can focus on just these priorities, I feel like my stress levels are gonna, just even thinking about it, my stress levels came down. So I was like, man, it's really not that much. It just feels like so much because I haven't really organized the top priorities. I'm just like thinking, scatterbrain. You're like, man, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Like, you just, again, you feel that effect of, ooh, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. Like, you're just stretching all over, where whenever you take a moment just to take a breath, sit down and, okay, did we get this done? Okay, no, but we did get this. Okay, so tomorrow we need to do this. Okay, and what about this? So we get, okay, yes, we did. Like, once you start seeing, similar to the power list, check, 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 or check, but then at least you have some comfort knowing, okay, we're making progress at least. And, we live to find another day at the end of the day, right? So, like I said, hopefully this did resonate with some of you guys, hopefully all of you guys ideally. But if it did, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button. It lets me know and lets YouTube know as well that you enjoy this type of content. You'll probably see a little bit more of my face in the videos and all that type of stuff from this channel. If you don't know who I am, of course, my name is Griffin Thomas. I own my own business, specifically pest control business, Preferred Pest Management in the Dallas, Texas area. We've been in business now for going on 4 years already. And on this channel, I just document my overall business and entrepreneurship journey. We talk about just ways to start and grow your business and take it to that next level. I don't run a bunch of campaigns on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or anything like that, trying to get business from you guys or anything like that. I just do this more so for me to just document my journey. I go back usually once every year or so and look back at just my videos from all the way back, and just, I love watching the growth at the end of the day. It just reassures me that what I'm doing is working, doing the power list, doing everything we talk about on this channel. It is just helping us slowly but surely get to where we want to be in life. And yeah, I think for 26 going on 27-year-old, we got it going on. And yeah, I would appreciate if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe down below, hit the bell icon beside it, that way you won't miss any future live streams that we do, videos, shorts, anything like that. By the way, lastly, if you're not in our totally free Discord groups or Facebook groups, they are free to join. They're not like masterminds you got to pay for or anything. Links for that are in my description box down below. I appreciate you guys as always. And as always, go out there and crush it and get the life that you and your family deserves.